Hi guys, good evening. Well, that was weird. The timer went from like 9 and froze and stopped. Good evening, everybody. Oh, it's been a busy day. It's been very interesting today, too. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff's happened. I do apologize. We did not get to the George Kelly trial this afternoon. I was indisposed. 2.0 and I enjoyed the afternoon. So, did I know that there was a McMahon on the Mew jury? I'm not sure I get that. Not sure I get that. Kaz is saying if Julian Assange is free, I will finally, um, you'll die happy. Well, we're going to talk about that. That's some very interesting stuff going on. So, guys, welcome everybody. If you are new, this is the Thursday night show. We do it every Thursday at 9:30, and we try to talk about a lot of stuff that's happened during the week. And it's not things we've necessarily covered, but I do think are relevant and fairly interesting. We do also wait about 10 minutes. Takes people time to filter in. Not everybody gets notifications on time, so we try to help out with that. But I do want to say hello to everybody out there on Rumble, Kick, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. And also, last but not least, everybody on Locals. If you guys don't know what Locals is basically Patreon with all the crappy rules. And at potentiallycriminal.locals.com, that's my equivalent of a Patreon page. It costs you nothing to join. You can sign up. You have access to the community page, talk about things that are going on. If you're a member there, you can post things as well that you think are interesting. All kinds of fun stuff like that. Now, if you wish to support me, it's $3 a month. You pay for 10 months, you get 2 months free. With that support, you get access to the live shows. We do 2 live shows. We do a live show every Monday at around 8:30, and then we do a live show after this show, and we get to hang out and have a lot of fun. So that is every week you get those. So I highly recommend becoming a supporter. And if you want 1 month free of full access, you can use the promo code SWITCHY. Yes, just like a Glock full auto switchy, and you can get 1 month free. After that, there's no obligation, and that's down over at potentially criminal.locals.com. So I hope I see you there. Oh, we got actually quite a few people in here tonight. Quite a few. Yeah, swishy. Yeah, swishy. Not switchy. And Stabby says if you're broke, you can join the Discord for free, but you're gonna get harassed. Yes. Yes. I will start off by saying, yes, America has suffered a tragic loss today. I we can't not talk about it. Rest in peace, O.J. Simpson. I didn't realize he was in hospice, but I guess there was a tweet or some sort of TikTok of him talking about going to hospice, and apparently he knew he was going. And I wish I could find it again because absolutely hilarious, where he talks about going to hospice like he's Allen Iverson talking about practice. Sadly, though, yes, it appears cancer did get him, and OJ, we will find the real killer someday. Someday we will find him. It's just truly, truly, truly sad. OJ never got to catch the real killer. So, that real killer will not escape God's justice. But he did escape OJ's. So, but yeah, Godspeed, OJ. Now, it is funny, though, when I learned about that today, my mom actually texted me and she said, she remembers watching it happen and we were on vacation. And apparently we were like, all of us were watching it. I'm like, I don't remember it. I don't remember it at all. So that is kind of funny. That is kind of funny. Where are we? Where is? Oh, here. Nope. Clicked the wrong. The juice is loose from this mortal coil. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Sean, murder is funny. Are you kidding me? Yes, it is funny. It's gonna be funny as hell. Funny as hell. Okay, Pat, I remember the trial being broadcast all over. Power Rangers was ruined because of that. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. Okay, this is a funny joke, actually. Who do we think Nicolae Miu soulmate's gonna be? Chris Watts, Daryl Brooks, or Chandler Halderson, or the Avery guys? Oh, that is very funny. That is very, very funny. That is funny. You know. Yes, Alan Dershowitz was OJ's attorney, along with Robert Shapiro, Robert Kardashian, quite a few people. The Dream Team, F. Lee Bailey, Johnny Cochran. Yeah, they did great. They did a great job. And if you guys haven't seen the American Crime Story, the People versus OJ Simpson, FX did this. It was like a 10-part series. Watch it. It's actually very well done. It's very well done. It's got Cuban Gooding Jr. in it, David Schwimmer, um, actually a couple of people. Who else has got it? Like Nathan Lane plays F. Lee Bailey. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal show. I think it does a very, very good job. Yep, the OJ Simpson story gave us the Kardashians. Hmm. Yeah, and yes, we got to watch an old angry white guy walk into a courtroom and just start dropping n bombs repeatedly without getting in trouble. And that was true because he got to confront Mark Furman with it and repeat asked him if he used the N word on the record repeatedly. And that is one of the fun times. In court, you get to use the words like I've never had to use that word before, and I think I'd be a little scared. But you can, yes, even I get scared sometimes. Thank God it hasn't happened yet. But all the other swear words, I've used them in court. It's been so cool when you can do it. Yes, Barry Levin and TMZ came out of OJ. Yes, a lot of people did. A lot of people did. And Charlie saying, "Isn't Cuba Gooding Jr. part of the Puff Daddy situation?" Yep, 100%. You have to give shout out to Mark Richards with that the hard R. Uh, I think you have a complimentary pass, Sean. Well, thank you. Don't worry. I got you. I got you. I only get scared because I can't run to the bushes to retrieve my knife stash. Yeah, I'm not. I can't run fast enough. That's why I'm scared. Was Cuba the pegger or the peggy? I don't know. I don't really want to know, but I have a feeling we're all gonna learn once P Diddy gets indicted. Yes, he's up there playing golf with all those famous white killers, Gacy, Dahmer. Yeah. Yes. Are we going to OJ's funeral? I mean, is it going to happen here in Cleveland? Otherwise, no, I'm not going to go. Patty says we all know what happened with OJ. I mean, do we really? Because I think his son did it. I think his son killed Nicole and Ronald. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Also, explains like why OJ has a big cut on his hand. Because if he was doing all the work, I don't see how he cut himself. You'd buy a white Bronco just for the funeral. Yes. Yes. Now, good luck to AC Cowlings. He's the OJ, the OJ that you have at home. It's the dollar store OJ. He's still alive. He's still alive, but he's on his own. OJ gave Nicole the vax. Yeah, gave her a clot shot in the form of a butcher knife. His son's fan hit the glove. He had mental issues. Yeah, he also didn't like Nicole. He didn't because OJ had a previous marriage. He had a first marriage, then he had Nicole. And his older children did not like Nicole at all. They hated her. They thought she ripped him off, and they were pissed that they saw her as flaunting his money and making fun of him and making him look like a fool all over town. So I do think his son did it. How's Kato? I'm not really sure. Patty says if OJ went to trial today, he'd be cooked fast. Yeah, but if OJ didn't go to trial, what trial would have been the trial of the century? Because OJ spawned 24-hour cable news, really. Makes you kind of wonder what would have been the new trial. So, yeah, they saw Nicole's gold digging, and she let Ron Coleman drive a Ferrari. Yeah, and that was the thing. It wasn't that whole story like, oh, he was just returning the purse. Like, come on now, come on, was he really? Was he really? She didn't let all the other guys, the waiters, drive her Ferrari. So. There are pictures of his son wearing the hat. Yes, there are. All right, guys. So it's time to get started. First things first, Nicolae Miu. If you guys aren't aware, he was found guilty today. He was convicted of first-degree reckless homicide. He's looking up to 60 years in the can. So, whoops. Jury came back right around noon. I was off by 24 hours. I thought they'd go till Friday at noon, but apparently they wanted to get the fuck out of there by Thursday. Really sucks to hear it happen. I think it was an absolute garbage verdict, but that's the risk. That's the risk, and we have not heard from the jurors yet. I hope one or two of them does tell us what happened because I really am curious to see what was the problem. What did they think? I'm sure they're going to talk about, oh well, he kind of walked away, blah 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 blah. But I think you're going to get someone just saying they were just straight up horrified with the actions. And I mentioned this before with the Dumpster Bros. Normies are going to be your jurors, and the fact you killed somebody blows their mind. They wouldn't kill people. They can imagine riding around on the tubes and drinking some beers on the tubes, floating around. They can't imagine getting into a fight where you kill someone. It's just like the Dumpster Bros. Those jurors couldn't imagine getting into a gunfight over the stupid fucking mattress. They also found him guilty of attacking Madison with a knife. Yes, but fuck it. I still think they all got what was coming to them. They all fucked around and they all found out. Even Isaac, he fucked around. The fight, everything had happened. It was almost over, and he comes running in, being the last guy, and he gets popped right in the chest. It's like, why were you trying to fight? You're like 5'11" and 120 pounds. For some reason, he thought he could fight too. Iman Rez was saying the Dumpster Bros, different story altogether. The story's different, but the concept's not. When you're using deadly force, you've got to be able to make it as clean as possible. Dumping a knife, running away, playing bullshit fuck games with the police. Those are all problems, and I still think those were really, really big problems. I think the defense did a really good job at cutting through most of it on the closing arguments. The state dropped the ball in the closing arguments. But remember, you're catching up to the state the entire time, and I think they were just short. And the fact the state wanted those lesser included, I think just shows they were scared and they knew that they weren't going to be able to show the intent, and it turns out they were right. So, yeah. Would you be able to handle a victim impact statement from Madison? Oh, fucking A. I'd just be like, Your Honor, can we just leave? Can we just leave? Aaron's saying, maybe I should put my house on the market. What was that jury thinking? Remember, they're, if you're not in this situation, you're probably fine, but it's not a good look, guys. I wasn't joking when I said that. This is rough on people. They can wrap their mind around the idea you would defend yourself. They can wrap their mind around a lot of things. They can, even though they might themselves not do it. But the idea you're going to get into a fight like that, and then eventually you're going to pull out a knife and you're going to start, punching holes in people with it. That's really tough. That's really tough. Really tough for these people to think. Reform says they should have stuck to swimming. Yes. I bet the judge gives him consecutive max sentences because he's a minor, because a minor on the line. No, he's probably going to give him like 40 years, and he'll die in prison. Sadly, and I feel bad for Nick. I feel bad for Nikolai. I really do feel bad for him. I was hoping he was going to win. He was going to get to go home and see his puppers. That picture of him when he was sitting there, his little puppers sitting on his chest. And it's like, oh, and that's so sad because he's probably never going to see his little dog again. And that's fuck. That's rough. That's rough, man. That's rough. Wrestler Town says, I have an uncle who did both, who both would have done what Nikolai did and would also have found him guilty. Yeah. KRM says, how does a normal individual find the money to defend himself at trial? You sell your house, you liquidate your retirement, everything you have, your family scrimps and saves and sells everything they have to fund it. I mean, if you needed $300,000, how would you get it? That's how you do it. And that's, that's how that goes. And that money is all basically for naught now. Now, the one thing I am curious about, and we never really got to talk about, was what type of plea deal would have been offered. And I wonder if there ever was one. I wonder if there were ever any discussions about it. I wonder if the state just said, fuck you, there's no deal, plead the information, and maybe we won't ask for a maximum sentence. Or sometimes they might just say, screw it. We're not gonna no deals at all. Kick rocks. I just don't know. I just don't know. Wrestler Town for $5. Thank you. Left you speechless. The prosecutors didn't need to roll a 20, they just needed not to roll a 1. And I understand that, and they basically rolled a 1. They rolled like a 2. They completely fucked it up. And they just got lucky. Senor Spielbergo says, I can't wait for one of the brain dead jurors saying that it was self-defense, but it was still reckless, and that is why they convicted. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they're going to have the most moronic takes ever. This we are says, what bets did you win? I mean, I didn't really win any bets. I just, people are like, I told people if they were right, I'd send them something, but I wasn't asking for anything in return. So I don't want anything from anybody in return. I'm not demanding anything of everybody. I don't ever want to be in a position where I feel like I'm taking from people. It's kind of like a band of brothers when Winters and Buck Compton are sitting there. He's like, never put yourself in a situation where you take from people. And I think that's the same for your viewers and your supporters. Never put yourself in a situation where you're taking from them. And that's why, those bets, I consider them one way, where I'm the only one who loses. Brimstone says women shouldn't be allowed on juries. Here's the problem. I guarantee a bunch of those guys you probably consider them a bunch of homos. You consider them a bunch of little bitches for the way they looked at it too. I guarantee you that. I'm just telling you, you definitely. It's not the women that were driving that, I think. Sunshine says you're making me cry. Well, I'll give you the nice answer to the real answer. The nice answer is a lie, and I don't like to lie. As much as people like to think we do it, that's bad for the business. So no, I don't lie. Funny Bit says he'll commit suicide. No, he won't. He will not do that. I don't believe. Justice said the pupper is getting put down. Don't say stuff like that. That makes me feel awful. And Sleazy says better be carried by 6 than judged by 12. Well, no, both of those things are really awful. Getting, people's like, I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. This is what getting tried by 12 looks like. For Nicolae Miu, hopefully he's still feels like he was justified. Because if he doesn't at this point, that's not a good look. Brimstone says no plea deal, and I could see that. I could see that. Kaz saying work the corner. Karen was saying $300,000. Holy shit! Yeah, I guarantee you, this Corey Shirafacey and those guys have been working on this since the preliminary hearing. I guarantee it's probably close to $300,000. Think about it, Kyle Rittenhouse was over $1 million in legal fees, and his crap was less than a year from the shooting to the trial. This is easily $300,000-$400,000. I guarantee you. It cost a lot of money, man. It cost a lot of money. And even if Sheriff Facey and Nelson were billing at a reduced rate, like think about it. Let's say it was like, there's no way it was like this, because I doubt they're this low. But let's say they billed at $200 an hour. Work 10 hours, that's $2,000. It adds up very, very, very quickly, even when you're trying to mitigate the damage. Hey, Tom, how you doing? I don't think there would be. The victim's family wouldn't accept that, and I understand that's probably part of the issue too. Is that if you offered a plea deal, the victims will go running screaming in the streets, and he doesn't want to look like that. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what they don't want. If the victims don't like an outcome, they don't get veto power. Ultimately, there's no state law where that's set up that way, because that would be wholly, wholly, completely fucked up. Even here in Ohio, there's a victim's bill of rights, and victim could say, "I don't like it," and it's like, and I said this on the record once. It doesn't matter what they think; they could be upset, but they don't get to dictate terms. Let's see here. When you 300K is nothing if you win, yeah, and if you lose, it's not like you can use it anyway. If Nick was out on bail, he would have fled. Maybe, maybe not. Alpha says, "How'd your pre-trials go?" Well, I had a bunch of stuff today. Yeah, everything went well. I mean, there were pre-trials, so it's like, so one guy didn't show up for one, but the rest of them, yeah, they went fine. They went fine. Where are I'm not a taker. Well, if only I had good takes. That's where I need to. Use. Cast Iron saying, "Can Nick appeal?" Yes, he can appeal. He can appeal a lot of different things. I'm sure that there were a lot of those sidebars on the record. Things were objected to, jury instructions. There might have been some jury selection. You name it. You name it. They could argue the manifest weight. They could argue. I mean, I really think they should argue the idea that in Wisconsin, this idea of like soft duty to retreat, this soft stand your ground, where you don't have a duty to retreat, but the fact you didn't retreat, which is apparently something you're allowed to do, they can then still use against you in determining reasonableness. That's highly unconstitutional. You're allowing somebody who did a legal action, and allowing a jury to use that legal action to then infer the reasonableness and still convict them of using something you've allowed them not to do under law. Specifically under law, there's no duty to retreat. But even if you follow the law and obey the law, well, we could still use that against you and convict you. I think that's absolute nonsense. It shouldn't happen that way. So I hope we get appeal that. But here's the deal: court's not ever going to turn it. Nope, they're not going to overturn it. I mean, there's going to be a bunch of appeals, and I doubt this. He's not coming back for a new trial. Just how it is. How it is. Try not to doom pill everybody, but let's. I don't like the whole "here's how Hillary can still win" nonsense. Here, fit the description says, "What's hilarious is that the jury fell asleep, voted to convict, and the defense attorneys pushed to keep her." Yeah, but if it was all them versus her, it was 11-on-1. I mean, then yeah, she agreed. But who knows? Shit happens, man. It's all a gamble. Jury selection is like voodoo. Well, you guys are so damn fast here. I'm trying to catch up. How can he be guilty of using a dangerous weapon when he committed battery against Madison? I mean, he committed battery using a dangerous weapon. I'm not sure what you're getting at, unless you're talking about Yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry, Ariel. Appealing is not worth it. You still appeal. You still appeal. You still appeal because you might get lucky, and really appeals cost you nothing. If he's smart, I doubt he's got the money for an appeal because an appeal is basically the cost of trial plus. So why not appeal? If you appeal and it doesn't work out, oh well. But if it does work, holy cow, that changes a lot. So definitely appeal. You definitely appeal. Prosecution did misstate the law. Well, we'll see. The problem is, I think there's one spot where they did not. The defense really didn't object during closing, so I'm not sure what happened there. Bronca seems somewhat surprised by the verdict, but said juries are unpredictable. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the. I mean, yeah, it was self-defense. It looked good, but his Nicolae's testimony and being in front of the cops like that. Oh God, that was catastrophic. I think ultimately. Madison's one to stir the shit up even worse. It is. Yep. Yep. It all is, but I'm sure that she'll take this lesson with her and go forward and not be a dumb bitch later in life. So, Crescent Fresh says, I heard Sean is the lawyer working with Cyrax to take on the trolls. No, I'm good. I hear if the description says, which all-you-can-eat buffet do you think the Miu prosecutors have closed down tonight? Hopefully a Chinese buffet. I hope they didn't go to do they have Ponderosas out in Wisconsin? I don't know. Like a Ponderosa or a hometown buffet. Those places are nasty. Hopefully they close down a Chinese buffet. They should have a Chinese buffet in a town like that. I don't hear it for $2 says, oh, I'm gonna come. Well, don't come. And let's go, Brandon for $4.99 says all those gays were doxxed by just splaining yourselves. And then Aaron for $20. Thank you for the soup. Thank you for that. I appreciate your support. Thanks for covering this trial, Sean. If you make your way to the tubes sometime, don't forget to sharpen your knife. Sharpen it first. Yeah. And remember, aim for the intercostal spaces in the rib cage. But thank you very much, Aaron. So we will go back. Cedar Rose says, damn it, I missed the results. So he got convicted of the first degree reckless. They went from first degree intentional homicide, they went to the next step down. So kind of like a imperfect self-defense ultimately. It was kind of shit. Yes, leave no witnesses is also that way. There's also a way to do it. Say, I have class. I'm a Shoney's man. Well, I'm a Ponderosa guy. They have Ponderosas out here. Does Aaron say, don't you know, dear? Yes, and yes, according to the prosecutor, remember, guys, it's not attempted murder if you just stab. If you cut up, well, that's attempted murder apparently in St. Croix County. St. Croix County. If you stab straight out, that's okay. But holy cow, buddy, watch yourself there, bud. If you go up, well, that's murder. It's almost like when you go to the bathroom. You only got 2 shakes and then you're playing with it. What is Ponderosa? Ponderosita. No, Ponderosa. Like on the show Bonanza, like their whole thing was called the Ponderosa. Yeah, Ponderosa. It was a great buffet place. The Madison book deal win. I bet she'll make a huge scene about how much she suffered simple battery, no documented injuries. Oh, she's not going to get a book deal. What? The life of a drunk white trash hoe? I don't know how's that going to work. I held my vape and my White Club. stood tall. Bob says, it's fine to wipe as much as you need to, as long as you don't moan. Cringe says, how was he convicted of battery without any proof? There was proof, though, guys. Listen, there was proof. Some people said he hit her. Eyewitness testimony is evidence. Now it's up to the jury to weigh the credibility of that evidence. And then there was that, whatever, the one bro who looked like a caveman, looked like Cro-Magnon man. He's like, I heard the sound of a punch. And he said he could hear well, that counts. That's testimony. That's evidence. The jury could draw the conclusion that he did hit her. Have I ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse? Yes, once. Holy cow, I got a little caught off guard. I ate a little too much of the stuff at the beginning, and I was like, wow, I got full quick. But yes, they are so cool. Although I want to go to a real steakhouse in Brazil where they're like, would you like some tapir snout, sir? And they just start cutting it off. I got the meat sweats. Yeah, it was rough. Yeah, I've been to that Texas de Brazil thing. Wisconsin has Golden Corrals. Yeah, but although to be fair, if they have one of those in their county, it's 95% white. So their Golden Corral's probably not too bad. It's probably not too bad there. Both of my tokens are green. Stop it. Stop it, chat. Shh. And then Tom Gillis Golf Instruction, guys. Actually, a very good channel if you do want to learn how to work some golf skills and try to help yourself out on stuff. For $19.99, thank you so very much. I held my vape and White Claw. She did. She did. She kept her glasses on, but she held her vape, and she had her vape, and her phone was tucked in her tits like chicks do, and she had her drink, and she didn't drop any of that. Real professional, real professional. Never used the chocolate fountain. I know. I've never. Oh god, that place would be scary. I would love to run. I think there's on YouTube. There's somebody who they would take they'd rub little swabs over different things out in public and put them in petri dishes to show you how nasty they are. I'd love to take one of those swabs and just stick it in the chocolate waterfall, pull it out, and see what kind of shit's growing on it. Oh god, it's got to be scary. All kind of people like Robert McKim, the great Reverend Robert L. McKim Sr., sticking his hand into that and just being disgusting. Ugh. Ugh. Jer13 says, I'm 10 minutes from Wisconsin. People used to dump dead hookers over the border before Illinois stopped executing murderers. Yes. Yes. You're calling Golden Corral's not a middle-class soup kitchen. It's too fucking expensive. I bet Mutant regrets not knifing Madison after this trial. Oh, I'm sure he's like, I wish I beat the fucking brakes off you at this point. Yes. So, all right, guys, we are going to move on from there. This is becoming Ricada levels of insulting. Hopefully in a good way, not in a bad way. I don't know. So we got to move on from there, guys. What is the next big thing I think we need to talk about? This is actually a very serious thing. Very, very serious thing. Julian Assange. If you guys don't remember Julian Assange, he was the guy who ran WikiLeaks. And WikiLeaks got really big back in 2007 when they published the collateral damage video. When it was the video of the Apache cruising along, and they were following the group of guys walking down the street on their gun camera from really far away. And it turns out it was a couple of AP reporters along with an insurgent or two, and they lit them up. And then when a vehicle came to pick up wounded, they lit that up and caused all kind. Yeah, collateral murder. I'm sorry, collateral murder. Yes, and it's you haven't seen what 30 millimeter chain gun does to things. They tore it up. And that was the big break for WikiLeaks. And then after that, they started producing all the leaked documents, the diplomatic cables of the United States government, and a lot of Western governments. Um, Brandon saying he fucked a ton of kids, right? Nope. Nope. There's no evidence he did any of that. There's no evidence he did any of that. So this is who Bradley Manning worked with. You guys remember Bradley Manning? He took a CD labeled Lady Gaga, burned all kinds of shit onto it from a secured secret capacity server and gave it to Julian Assange. That's what started it all. Now, he's been charged with multiple crimes, and the basic theory of those crimes is he solicited Bradley Manning to go and get that stuff and give it to him. Now, why is that a problem? If Bradley Manning had just done it and then mailed to Julian Assange, the government would not be able to charge him because they could say, look, that's just a reporter getting leaked documents. You mean Chelsea? No, Bradley. Bradley. But their argument is that he solicited them. Now, the case of the federal government that's against Assange has been kind of falling apart over the years. We find out one of the supposed informants for the FBI is a hacker from Iceland who's got an issue with child pornography. There's a lot of questions about just how the FBI has been doing this in general, whether or not lying and hiding evidence like they normally do in every other case. There are a lot of problems. The case is starting to lose steam. That said, he has been sitting in a British prison fighting extradition to the United States for many, many years now. And if you guys remember prior to that, he spent years in the Ecuadorian embassy in London fighting the allegations he had raped somebody in Sweden, because notice that kind of disappeared, just went poof. But because he had jumped bail, basically, the British held him, and now he's been held for years now. And yeah, that's where he's been. That's where he's been. If you guys also don't know, Julian Assange is an Australian citizen. And he's also, apparently, from what I've been told, Hayden's neighbor back in the day. I'm just kidding. He's not Hayden's neighbor. But he has been fighting extradition. And the biggest thing is the British government has allowed him to challenge extradition. This is from back in March. This is actually a big deal, and I didn't get to it, and I apologize for it. But he is challenging extradition. Now, what he was granted is a big concern from the British government is the US has said he might face a death penalty at some point. And while all this stuff is basically under the Espionage Act, there is a concern that technically they could charge him with treason at some point. And because that's a possibility out there, he can't be extradited. Now, the British government has demanded that the US government provide satisfactory assurances that they will treat him properly, because the US doesn't treat people properly, especially terror suspects and people in his situation, just like the January 6 people have been treated like utter shit. Well, the same thing has been going on there for Julian Assange. And there have been other stories of people who have been sent back to the United States, and guess what happens? They got treated poorly, even though the government said, hey, look, we really promise we're not going to hurt this guy. And they end up hurting him. So there are a lot of concerns there. And ultimately, that, there's the US government said technically he could be charged with treason later. And under British law, it'd be unlawful to extradite him. And then they also are focusing on what Trump said. And they said back what Trump said in 2010, he's like, there should be like a death penalty or something for that. That was one of Trump's biggest things, that he never pardoned this man. He should have pardoned Assange. He should have. So the U.S. has been they're being told provide assurances, and if they can't do it by April 16th, Assange could be granted permission to appeal. So the clock's ticking. Uh, it is funny though that British government is claiming that The CIA has not been planned to kidnap or murder him, and I guarantee you they have. I'm actually surprised during the Biden administration when Hillary was Secretary of State, he didn't get hit with a fucking drone strike or there wasn't some sort of bombing at the Ecuadorian embassy. Or if you guys remember, he would come out on the balcony of the Ecuadorian embassy. I'm surprised there wasn't like a fucking RPG attack on him or something. The fact he is still alive is very impressive to me at this point. So he has a further hearing scheduled May 20th. We'll find out what's happening. But yeah, it's a 13-year legal fight. It's been going on forever. So he has been battling for 13 years. He spent 7 of them holed up in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, and the last 5 in a maximum security jail. He's in a jail called Belmarsh Prison in Britain. It's really, really rough. Apparently, it's making him lose his fucking mind. So, with all that being said, there is a very interesting development that's happened lately. And this, I am I read this and I kind of was like, you got to be shitting me. Especially coming from Biden, although if he's losing his damn mind, fine. The US is considering dropping the case against Julian Assange. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. They're considering it. They're considering dropping it. Not like, oh, no way in hell. No, they're thinking about it. They're thinking about it. Because Australia said, hey, let him come home. Well, we'll take care of him here. I, he should be released. He did journalism. The U.S. government didn't like that he aired the dirty laundry. And if you guys don't remember those diplomatic cables, which are highly protected and secret documents, we basically were talking shit about foreign leaders, foreign government officials, and also which government officials we thought we should support, who was trustworthy, who we should back, and how we should back them. But just some like Mean Girls level stuff where we talk about him and think, oh yeah, that guy's a fucking dickhead, or he seems like a real loser. There was all kinds of stuff in those diplomatic cables that got leaked, and you can still look at them now. WikiLeaks still has them up. You can still go through the diplomatic cables. I would caution you, though, guys, if you do have security clearances or you're looking to get a security clearance in the future, don't, because part of your screening is they'll ask you, have you ever accessed classified material? And boom, that'll hit you. So don't go looking for it if you think you might be doing military stuff in the future. And he has been fighting. He faced up to 175 years in prison. Although, yes, more than likely he's going to be sentenced to like 4 to 6 years. But now that he spent 5 years in prison, it's like, he should probably get caught loose, which would not be a bad idea. And in Australia, the prime minister has even said that, hey, we want him out. And that's nice. Their government's actually fighting for him. They're fighting for him harder than the U.S. fought for Gonzalo Lira. So that is where he is right now. And this will be, yeah, it's going to be a big deal if he can get released. I hope he does. I hope he does. But we'll see. We will see. We will see. Reform Comics says, I'm a felon. I'll take a look at him. Yeah, there's a lot there. It's actually very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Hella says, this is goddamn stupid. What? Which part of it? Is Assange he's your neighbor. Do you not want him back? He's like, my neighbor is so quiet lately. I'll worry he'll get the Khashoggi treatment. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hillary will blow a gasket. Hopefully it's fatal. Hopefully it's fatal. I watched the movie Spies Like Us. Am I going to go to jail for watching classified material? No. Actually, you want to watch a good movie about spying, it's The Lives of Others. It's a very good movie. It's in German, so you're gonna have to watch like the fancy foreign film it's dubbed subtitles. Oh, Patty. Yeah. I don't think they all think the GWOT lies are true. We'll see. Trump also said, "Take the guns, figure out red flags later." He's just another libtard. Yeah, well, they all are in one form or another. Tia Nina says, "I can't read. I can't read." Well, yes, The Lives of Others is a good movie to watch. I think it's a very, very good movie. Very good movie. So moving. Oh, hold on. I don't know what them red letters said. I just read the papers. And yes, speaking of other spy stuff, Deutschland 83 is a great show. Yes. Then there's Deutschland 86. Then there's Deutschland 89. That's the each season of the show skips 3 years in the 80s. It's actually a very, very good thing. Very good thing. By drinking coffee? Nope, nope, nope. Just water. Just water. Drinking it out of my potentially criminal coffee cup, though, it says, you know. And it says just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. You can find that at the link below on the store website. I was drinking White Claw. No, I'm not drinking White Claw tonight. No. On what streaming platform is that Deutschland show on? It's on Hulu. It's on Hulu still, I think. I watched it a long time ago and then caught up to it. But moving on to other issues in espionage and surveillance, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978. Well, we are looking at a renewal of some major provisions of it. And there is a deadline for the program. It's just 10 days until things change. And one of them is Section 702. And I love this because Axios, the way they write this, has helped intelligence agencies collect data as part of counterterrorism, cybercrime, drug trafficking, and several other types of investigations. Yes, and then they use it against us and just hoover up all the data. Yes, it didn't just stop with them fighting the bad guys. It didn't. And we talked about this before on the show, where the FBI has searched through the records over 80,000 times without a warrant. The constant abuses by the intelligence community, including the NSA, the FBI, and other parts of the controlled director of national intelligence. We hear about this routinely. Routinely, we hear about the abuses of the FISA court, especially most recently with the FBI. And what did they do in Crossfire Hurricane? They lied on warrants for the FISA court, and it didn't get caught. And now look what happened. Nobody got in trouble. Well, we're reviewing it. We'll take care of it. It's never been fixed. It won't ever be fixed. Now, the biggest thing with Section 702, and before we get too far, I do think this is hilarious because if you want to go to somewhere where surely you can trust the quality of what you're looking at is intel.gov. Because, I mean, who can't you trust other than the Gluies on their own website? On their own website. And I love this. In 2008, Congress enacted Section 702, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, a critical intelligence collection authority that enables the intelligence community to collect, analyze, and appropriately share foreign intelligence information about national security threats. Section 702 authorizes targeted intelligence collection of specific types of foreign intelligence information. Notice that's what it's meant to be, foreign intelligence information, such as information concerning terrorism, the acquisition of weapons of mass destruction. Oh no, oogie boogie 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 boogie. Ooh, scary. Because there's just fucking weapons of mass destruction floating around. All that yellow cake is out there. Section 702 only permits the targeting of non-U.S. persons who are reasonably believed to be located outside the United States. United States persons and anyone in the United States may not be targeted under Section 702. Section 702 also prohibits reverse targeting. The IC may not target a non-U.S. person located if the purpose of the collection is to collect information about a United States citizen or even located inside the United States. How many times? Whoever said this is fucking. They typed this about laughing. I'm assuming. Because they still do it. And 702 is not a bulk collection program, but you keep all the data. So it is a bulk collection program. It's a substantial, important target intelligence collection program. No, it's fucking hoovering up data. Every Section 07 targeting decision is individualized and documented. No, it's not. And it's approved pursuant to a multi-step process embodying specific targeting procedures. Not from what we've reviewed over the past year. Not at all. And reviewed by an independent oversight team. Nope. Nope. Now, yes, while it does affect people that are outside the United States, there's an issue that they may collect communications involving United States citizens or people inside the United States while they're hoovering up all this data. So Section 702 requires specific procedures to minimize the acquisition, retention, and sharing of any information concerning United States persons. Minimize, however, does not always mean eliminate. If, for example, a foreign terrorist indicating a United States person was a key member of an ongoing plot, this information would be appropriately shared to allow the FBI to take further steps. Okay. What about every other fucking time? They don't delete it. They don't delete it. And they haven't deleted it. And if you guys didn't remember, the ACLU does a great job of breaking it down. This is one of the few places where they get it right. And yes, and we talked about this where over 89,000 people were targeted. And these people then were targeted through the programs like Prism and all the other data harvesting setups over 200,000 times. Okay? The government hasn't stopped. It's only gotten worse. But if you guys remember, Prism and Upstream are the two things Edward Snowden broke out into the world. And how do you know this is all bullshit? Well, here we go. Let's look at the new FISA Act. Corrections to it. It's being called the Reforming Intelligence and Securing America Act. So it's Securing America and Reforming Intelligence. What more can you? I mean, they wouldn't lie to us, would they? No, no. They would never lie to us and misconstrue what this is really all about. It's here to help America. And I love America. If you don't love America, you want the terrorists to win. And you don't want the terrorists to win. So here we go, guys. This is the bill to reform the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978. Now, this is the big thing here. This is one of the big loopholes with the intelligence data. As of right now, the FBI can just go through and look for somebody's information that's all been hoovered up without a warrant. So, strictly limiting FBI investigation personnel authorizing United States persons queries because they can go through all that data and they can type in Sean Martin, boop, 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 and they can find out all the stuff I've hit off of. Because the way they collect data, you guys remember this, you've heard of the 3-hop rule. So if person A is a target of the intelligence community, 1 hop, person they talk to, okay, well, they're going to collect that person's data. 2nd hop is to the next person. They're going to collect all that data. Then there's the 3rd hop, and they can collect the data all along that stream. You're basically playing 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with your civil liberties. And before you know it, you're involved in foreign intelligence operations. And it doesn't take much, especially if you have a family member who's foreign. Boom. So they're redesignating things here. They're putting restrictions on the FBI, limits on authorizations of United States persons queries. They're adding stuff. In general, the FBI must obtain prior approval from a Federal Bureau of Investigation supervisor or attorney who is authorized to access unminimized contents or non-contents obtained through acquisition authorized under subsection A. Why aren't they getting a warrant to do this? Oh, they just have to go talk to their boss. Another FBI scumbag or a scumbag attorney working at the FBI or DOJ. Why don't they get a fucking warrant? Apparently that's too hard, chat. The terrorists win if you get a warrant. There's exceptions, though. There's an exception if they're using a United States person. Query term may be conducted without obtaining prior approval only if the person conducting the query has a reasonable belief that conducting the query could assist in eliminating a threat to life or serious bodily harm. So if they think, oh, well, I think this guy was going to be a terrorist, boom, they've met that burden. That's all it's going to take. Oh, I thought he was an evil terrorist. He's one of those Trump or MAGA types. Your threat, boom. No, prohibition to involvement of political appointees in the process. Prohibition of political appointees in this process. Okay, let's see how that's going to work. Because people don't break the law ever. The procedures shall prohibit any political personnel, such as those classified by the Office of Personnel Management or Schedule C accepted, from inclusion in the FBI's prior approval process under the clause. So great. Yeah. Don't let political people involved. I'm sure that's going to work. They're trying to say we're only going to let people who are career civil servants. I'm sure that's going to help because they don't have political axes to grind either. It's not like we dealt with the whole FBI talking about insurance policies stopping a man from becoming president. No, that didn't happen. No, chat, that never happened. The fact you would dare claim the FBI did that is despicable. You should be ashamed of yourself. Because look, they have audits. There's going to be audits for each query identification that they're doing, not later than 180 days after the conduct of such query. Well, the queer is doing the queries. The DOJ shall conduct an audit of such queries. So they get to investigate themselves. The requirement under paragraph 1 shall apply with respect to the queries conducted on or after the date of the enactment of this act. Okay, great. Notice what we don't see in here. Notice what we don't see. There's no penalties for violating. There isn't, hey, if you do this and break the law, you go to fucking prison. Nope. It's just they'll do a great job at checking themselves out. We promise they'll do a great job. They promise to tell us why they're doing what they've done. Just absolutely, yeah. But don't worry, they promise to do a whole they're going to heckin' train, chat. They're going to heckin' train. That you have to complete their training on the querying procedures. You got to be an FBI certified queer. You got to be a bull queer before you're allowed to go rooting around. But they'll make sure you do it right. They promise. There's going to be additional approvals for sensitive queries. And a requirement that absent exigent circumstances. Well, how about so now there's going to be, well, even if it's not an exigent circumstance, you're allowed to do an exigent circumstances. But if it's not an exigent circumstance, you can get away with it if you got a good enough reason. It's like, well, then why even bother? Well, Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care. So if the query uses a query term reasonably believed to identify a United States elected official, an appointee of the president or a state governor, a United States political candidate, United States political organization, a United States person prominent in such organizations, or a U.S. media organization, or a person who's a member of such organization. Okay. What about us little people? Oh, so there's like a cutout if you're going after Congress. Congress is protecting themselves. Isn't that kind of cool how that's going to work? Congress protected itself, but fuck everyone else. They need approval from an attorney in the FBI if the query uses that term. They also need if it's going to identify a religious organization or a person who is prominent in that organization. Approval for an attorney if conduct involves batch job technology. Okay, great. Approval from an attorney. Why not get a warrant? Why not get a warrant? I mean, what's so hard about that? The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court has like a 99.9 approval rate. They've only turned back a handful of warrant applications over the years. They haven't met a warrant application they didn't like. Like, why can't they? Why can't they go get a warrant? Why can't they get a goddamn warrant? But don't worry. They have to have a prior written justification. There's a requirement that prior to conducting these queries using U.S. person term, the personnel of the FBI provide a written statement of the specific factual basis, support the reasonable belief that such query meets the standards required. For each United States person query, the FBI shall keep a record of the query term, the date of the conduct, and the identifier of the person conducting the query in such written statement. Oh, that's great. That's great. They're going to make their own fucking reasons. Oh, they're going to do it beforehand. Is there going to way to prove they haven't backdated this at all? No. Notice there's no what happens if you fuck it up. No. Nope. Oh, and this is the best thing here. There's a waiver authority for the FISA courts. If the FISA court finds that the procedures adopted under paragraph 1, including measures that are reasonably expected to result in similar outcomes, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court may waive one or more of the requirements specified above. So the court can go, don't worry about it. It's all good, brother. We're so fucked. We are so fucked, chat. This is only page 9 of 84, but we are so fucked. I mean, just look at it. There's no, oh, by the way, if you do this wrong, we'll fucking drag you behind a truck till you're dead. Nope, we don't do that. We don't do that here. Nope. So, why don't they just get the Grays to do this instead of the 4 or 5 eyes? I don't know. This is just, they're fucking with us. And they know we can't do a goddamn thing about it. And there's a good chance it's going to pass. And how do we know that? Well, Speaker Johnson, scumbag, I'm sure the way he's flip-flopping, before he was against the whole FISA thing, it was about burning it all down. And now he's been speaker, well, now he's sucking intelligence community cock. He is just choking it down. I'm surprised for long he's not going to be sucking Ukrainian dick too, sadly enough. But here we go. Listen to him.
When I was a member of the judiciary, I saw all the abuses of the FBI, the terrible abuses over and over and over, the hundreds of thousands of abuses. And then
so notice he's like, before I saw the FBI just fucking it all up, abusing the Constitution.
I became speaker, I went to the SCIF and got the confidential briefing from sort of the other perspective on that to understand the necessity of Section 702 of FISA and how.
But notice when I became speaker, they took me into a special little room and they explained me why they're butt fucking the Constitution and why they gotta have it up there. It's like, yes, you need us up there, butt fucking the civil liberties and fuck the little people. I'm sure they also said we'll plant child pornography on your hard drive and kill you, because I'm sure that's not how the FBI extorts people, because it's not like they had a history of doing that. But let's listen to them explain why it's okay now.
necessity of Section 702 of FISA and how important it is for national security. And it gave me a different perspective. So I encourage all the members to go to the classified briefing and hear all that and see it so they can evaluate the situation for themselves. And I think some opinions have changed both ways, but that's part of the process. You got to be fully informed.
Have you been fully informed? Oh, fully informed. Timothy McVeigh hit the wrong fucking building. He hit the wrong fucking building, chat. I'll just say it. Kaz is saying lol. Yeah. Oh. Phil Kogan's $5 saying having a FISA warrant against Page and the Greek guy, Papadopoulos, allowed the FBI to wiretap Trump if you didn't already know. Yeah, and they lied about all of that. And they used Masood, that fucking asset that we fucking disappeared. Where did that guy go? Where did that guy go in the Russia investigation? All those guys. Miko Bain's talking about the heckin'. Yeah, we got the heckin' bad guys out there, chat. Them heckin' terrorists. You can't let them out there. Seriously, that's how it's getting used. That's how this is being used. The only thing Clyde handles is D's nuts. Bone Zone says training on the queerness. What was that staffer doing in the Senate building on tape? Oh, I know, but he's not in the FBI. The FBI does their own queer training on their own. They're like, we're doing my query training. Ooh. I'm sure that's part of the FBI Academy now. Neo Dark Matter says, what's sensitive? This isn't sensitive. Yep. The Fed logic, yes. The rules are for you, but the king's men, they aren't subject to the rules. Eric Swalwell can now go back to banging Fang Fang. I'm sure he can go get his balls deep in some other Chinese communist pussy at this point. Good for him. J-Rock says, I hate to tell you, but you've been fucked for quite a while. Oh, we have. I know we've been fucked. We've been fucked going back to the Patriot Act, and if not earlier, but the Patriot Act, well, really, that was like, my coming of age moment around that time. But yes, we've been fucked for over 20 years. So this should be regulated like HIPAA is. Yeah, but even HIPAA gets fucked with all the time. Remember, HIPAA doesn't apply to the government. So the government can't violate HIPAA. So HIPAA is only meant to govern the private sector. You can't hold the government liable for a HIPAA breach. Literally, you cannot legally hold them liable for a HIPAA breach. They literally can't be sued. They literally can't be sued. It's going to pass because the Peter Puffers don't give a fuck. Exactly. Yep, but it's a small club and we ain't in it. Stabby says, I'm pretty sure he was already sucking off Israel or Ukraine during his first speech or whatever as Speaker of the House. Well, he isn't sucking off Ukraine. He still cut them off for now, and I'm looking forward to that working longer. Well, hold on one second here. Well, yes. Hopefully the Salami Ukulele Brigade chokes out a little bit more, but we're gonna see what happens. Pseudo Snark for $10. Thank you. Is saying late catching up. Got a question. If Nick runs, keeps the knife, doesn't lie, does it change the outcome? A lot of bad facts. Bet the plea was 60 years, reckless homicide. Well, it sounds like they didn't make any deals, and they don't have to make an offer. If he runs, keeps the knife, doesn't lie, I think that gives the prosecution a lot less ammunition. But I kind of get the feeling the jury's still going to be like, he was insane for doing this. I really get that feeling. I don't know. We'll find out because one of these jurors is going to talk. One of them has to talk. We'll see. Maybe you're right. Maybe one of them will say that was all it takes. Benjamin Lewis has been a new member. Thank you, Benjamin. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your support. So, and Carrie saying, what is EO 12? Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. It is actually a United States executive order. It's about the United States Intelligence Agency, guys. If you've never seen this before, it is. Hold on here. I'll link it up for you. Where is share screen? This is something you guys should read if you guys have never seen this before. It's only 16 pages, but it does regard the use of how the National Security Council is involved in all kinds of foreign intelligence, counterintelligence, and covert action. I mean, it talks about, it's the way it consolidates power and the way it delegates things. So the National Security Council, if you guys aren't aware of that, that is an actual organization, involves the Vice President, the Department of Defense, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and multiple advisors. You hear about like the National Security Advisors the presidents may have, but I mean, it covers covert action, other sensitive intelligence operations. They get to do so much through this. It is a massive, massive undertaking. Uh, it is a very extensive order. You guys should read it. It does a lot of things, and even without this, Section 702 is still a big threat. But yes, and the last time it was amended was in 2008. But if you notice, as amended by executive orders in 2003 with Bush, and then Obama. So it is definitely something to take a look at. Thank you for the super chat, Carrie. The speaker be squirming. Yes, he is. 100% squirming. McCabe came out today and said the initial FISA was a lie today. Really? Let me see here if this comes out. Oh, do you have a link to that? Because if I just typed in McCabe admits lie, let me see. It doesn't show anything for today. Oh, I see. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, this is good. We're actually gonna we'll look at this. We'll look at this today. We'll look at this. This is very good. This is very good. Getting onto this real quick here. So, former FBI deputy director says Trump's absolutely wrong on the FISA claims. No, McCabe, fuck you and all your fucking little scumbags. Like I said, the wrong truck had a Ryder truck parked out in front of it. Well, some of you might be thinking, well, Sean, that means it's like in the Turner Diaries. I'm like, well, yeah. Exactly what I'm getting at. So Andrew McCabe, the guy who fucking lied, scumbag piece of shit himself, criticized Trump's claims about a section of the FISA Act. My guess, Jim, it's not surprising that Trump is against surveillance capability authority for the FBI because he's someone who's been investigated by the FBI. Yes, illegally investigated by the FBI. Imagine that. He doesn't fucking like you guys. I still wish he would have fucking greenlit you guys for JSOC. And there would have been a sweeper team of like Delta Force guys just clearing out the top floor of the FBI building. Just fucking sweeper team style. No, basically just saying, remember, no Russian. Slap some alpha patches on the side of the uniforms and just fucking like the Holy Spirit moving through at Passover. Except all the firstborns apparently happen to be federales. Yes. Kill FISA. It was illegally used against me and many others. No lie. They spied on my campaign. True. McCabe said there's no truth or accuracy in that post at all. The guy who got in trouble for lying, saying that's not true. Wait, I don't want to use Ralph's voice talking about intelligence operations, but McCabe seemed to suggest that Trump could be talking about the FBI previously getting a warrant to spy on Trump campaign aide Carter Page. So you spied on a campaign aide. He's part of the campaign. Don't tell me you didn't use this to surveil him. Remember all those hops. We now know that there were many stakes in that FISA. All those are regrettable. But that is not Section 702. Totally different thing here. Yeah, we fucked you in the ass, but this other thing we could fuck you in the ass with. Totally different thing. Yeah, we violated it like 300,000 times. But it's totally different thing we're fucking the ass with. That's a different dildo, guys. This is a different strap on. Different strap on. But it is fucking hilarious. Trump signed a renewal Section 702 after he already knew they were snooping on him. So, yeah, fuck you, Andrew McCabe, you fucking scumbag motherfucker. Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, whoops, we messed up. Oopsie poopsie. But the FBI are the terrorists. Yes, they are. Yes, when you look at Ryder's got really good quality trucks. Commenting on the stream doesn't mean agreement. Well, that I'm pretty sure that intelligence agencies that are monitoring this probably don't agree with that. Thermite paint. Bill. Yes, I'll see if we can find them. We're gonna need a whole fleet of Ryder trucks. The FBI building's huge. Yes. The FBI, we've been screwed since the Alien and Sedition Act. Oh, I'm confusing your show with American Horror Story. No, we are living in an American Horror Story. We are living in an American Horror Story. Don't you worry. Cat says can't read past 10 pages. You cannot read all of it. Well, you can't read all of it. I understand that, but what you can read shows what the federal government has put together and amassed as an intelligence apparatus. It is fucking scary. I know part of it's kept secret, Carrie, yes. But get to the parts where it is. I want you guys to learn. If I just tell you guys, oh look, half of it's redacted. Well, yeah, you don't get to know what's there. Cover the Delphi motion today. It'll get me money. We can cover Delphi tomorrow. I don't have time for it, Luke. There's too much shit we're covering tonight. Yes, they're literally fucking Richard Allen to death and violating the Constitution. I know. I can do it tomorrow. It's got its own show. I think it's getting properly done. I think it's only fair he deserves his own time because yeah. The fucking guy who lied. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? I know. That's why, like, JSOC should have just gotten a green light, wipe out the entire top floor of the Hoover building. Just get them all. Whoever's up there, green light on any personnel on that floor. Hit it like at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. The little birds come in and just take it out. A Squadron, Delta Force, just right through. Or if we need to, just fucking JDAM the whole building. Get a B-52 up there just with like 40 JDAM, just ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. And it'll look like the Russians dropping their little fab bombs with the... Actually, we should borrow some of those. Get those Russian fab bombs where the wings go like shoot, and they just start flying around and bombing everything. There we go. That'll work too. CD says that's enough for me later, dudes. Well, have a good one. Take care, CD. Yes, the hop rule. The hop rule. Um, Carrie says we need a van. We need a lot more in a van. We need 1,000,000 vans. Low jacks don't work if the truck doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. We're all in this. Of course. Of course. I disavow all comments made by me. Well, that's good because my name's not Sean Martain. So you're whoever that guy is, yeah, Sean Martain. No good. No good. No good. J-Rock says no recipes in chat. I know. Just remember, guys, if you want to save space in your garage, you take some of your heating oil or your diesel fuel and mix it in with your fertilizer. That way you can save space in your garage and it all fit in one bag. It's like Marie Kondo stuff. Marie Kondo. That pleases me. It brings me joy. And you save room. It's decluttering. That's all I'm offering is decluttering tips. Remember, for you, a tall building up in the air, it's totally normal for it to buckle at the base and collapse on itself. Not tip over at the leak spot 700 feet up in the air. Oh. They say coward, but correct. Look, I have way too much tonight. And me doing like a 5 or 10 minute thing. And Richard Allen, that's not fair to that guy. It deserves to be screamed from the rooftops, like fully devoted to him. Like I said, I've read it. It's fucking infuriating. Carrie, I hate you. I hate a lot of people, Carrie. It's nothing personal. I hate most people. The continuity of government will never. Well, are you saying that's what cog? I mean, cog? Like in the sector too? What? The British are behind our government. I just figured it out. Cog is behind it all. Yes, the continuity government will not let it happen. Sean's knowledge of the National Mission Force is impressive. Oh my god. Some of you guys are great. Some of you guys are great. At least it could keep people a taste. We will be working on Richard Allen tomorrow. We're also going to be working on George Kelly tomorrow. Nope, just a smidgen. I'm going to leave you. Got to leave you hanging. Got to leave you hankering. Leave you cold turkey. You'll be jonesing even harder. Yes, Sean Martain, my evil twin, my evil cousin. Yes. The fuel oil is the desensitizer. Who needs physics when you're the government? Yes. Sean even hates himself. That's a lot more true than you really will ever know. Very true. I say the most shark-like things. Thank you. Yes, good. Joe filed again, and we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that today about Joe's situation with Trump's case. All right, guys. So that is well, we gotta get up and go. We're going to be running out of time here. Okay. So what's next? What's next? Okay. Elisa Jordana. Eliza Jordana. This is hilarious because if you guys want to see somebody commit a felony, on TV, it's good. This is amazing. So Eliza Jordana, her name's like Eliza Ann Schwartz, which I guess like parenthesis. There's a reason why she doesn't go by that name, I guess. Is a streamer. She used to work on Howard Stern's show, was a writer, which given how this went, kind of makes sense how shitty Howard Stern shows were at the end of the day. Was streaming and she was in a car with her boyfriend and things went a little sideways. Is it Eliza or Elisa? I forget how the hell you pronounce her name. I don't really care too much. Let's see here. Where is... Oh, crap. I lost the page with the court documents on it. Hold on here, chat. Hold on here. I gotta... Okay, yeah. Oh, here we go. Hold on. How did I spell this? Oh, Schwartz. Oh, that's why I was missing the T. E. Search. What the fuck? That didn't work. That did not work at all. Where did it go? I lost it. Oh well. Oh, come on here. Let's hold on here. SCH and then E. That's what I just did here. God damn it. Yeah, okay, I can't find it. Fuck. I had documents up, they're gone. Fuck it. We're not looking at the documents. We're gonna watch her act like a dumb fuck on camera. Remember, guys, your phone is a great tattling machine. It is a giant tattling machine. This thing will do all kinds of shit to you. Yes, she's also Andy Dick's ex-wife. Yes. Up. Hold on one second. All right, guys, we're back. Let's see here. Just pull off for the Kina Casino. Just pull from. Yeah, well, I gotta get my own shit, guys. Can't just do that. You got to do your own thing. Got to have your own research there. I need an X-ray girl. I do have a producer, the lovely future Mrs. Martin 2.0. Phenomenal at it. She got me all straightened out, chat. But here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna watch this woman commit crimes on camera because she's a fucking idiot. So here we go.
So don't worry.
Now, what she found out is she believes that her boyfriend was sending a chick money on Venmo. Her name is Sarah because he was cheating on her. And she's on live. She's live streaming and she calls this girl on the phone and it all goes from there. So it gets funny. Just hang tight for a minute.
Hi, Sarah. How are you? How are you, Sarah? Hi. Nudes and different sentences that he.
Sarah, I'm sorry about this.
Don't talk. Don't fucking talk.
Now the first things, yeah, those first couple punches were technically assault, but that's legit assault. And I think you'd argue domestic in Ohio that'd be domestic violence. I'm pretty sure they live together. That would be domestic violence.
Yes, Sarah. We're really sorry about this. I'm sending him your way today. So don't worry. But yeah. So yeah, he's coming. Don't worry. He's coming home.
Elisa. She's just like almost broke my nose. She's gonna get arrested.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Fuck you, cunt. Next time you fucking touch me, I'll fucking dick you. You understand? You understand, cunt? Hey, no, Sarah, hang up. These idiots. She posted your fucking number in her cancer Discord, and I was just being polite. Yeah, touch me and I fucking deck your dumbass bitch. I'll fucking deck you.
Elisa,
Yes.
as a woman,
The
I
dumb
have a
cunt,
negative
Sarah, the
cycle
dumb
violence. I
retard
have
in
to
the
have my
middle of a
phone
street
on.
session.
Can you please
she
delete
took-
my number from the chat?
No, she's a fucking insane person. She's a fucking
I would stop talking
50-year-old
about. Oh,
dumb
yeah.
cunt
Oh, yeah.
in the
I'm
middle of the
15.
street
Okay, yeah.
dancing.
Yeah, Sarah, I heard you had a
Stop.
kid when you were 16. That's what he told me about you.
Yes, she had
And he
a
said you're a
kid.
dumb Mexican.
I said she's
And
a
he
dumb
said
Mexican.
you keep showing up. And he says you won't stop texting him. But I saw the text. It's the same shit.
Elisa, can you
Yeah.
answer?
Yeah. What's up?
She's half your age.
Well, I guess my first question is she really a dumb Mexican? I know she had like a Rodriguez is a name, but that doesn't necessarily make her a dumb Mexican. She could be like Puerto Rican or something, maybe.
Can you
She's half your age.
delete the number, please? I have a negative cycle.
Pull over, dumb cunt. Pull over, dumb.
Now, to be fair, I understand you want to defend yourself, and you do have the right to do that. Making it so the person driving a car, like they're stopped right now, which is helpful. But doing that while the person you're attacking has the ability to operate the car in a way that might get you killed is kind of risky. It's kind of risky. But here let's go again from there. Here we go.
She's half your age.
Delete the number, please. I have a negative cycle.
Pull over, dumb cunt. Pull over, dumb cunt.
No, please don't. I'll stop. Okay, I'll stop.
I'll stop. You fuck around, found out. Well, if that ain't finding out, guys. If that ain't finding out.
Over.
Okay,
Pull over, dumb cunt.
No, I'm sorry.
No, call 911, Sarah. Call 911.
No, please. I'm
Call
sorry.
911.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm so sorry. Please let me go. Please let me go.
See, at any point when he's got her like this, guys, the fact he isn't just like a lot of guys would just start raining hammer fist down on her, and I would be like, okay. But notice he's not hitting her; he's just literally yanking her by the hair so she can't do anything. I mean, overall, he's not really causing her serious harm. So, I don't recommend this strategy, but it worked. It stopped her.
No, please, I'm so sorry. Please let
Oh,
me
you're
go.
sorry, right? Get the fuck
Okay,
out
I'm
of
getting
here.
out. I'm getting out. He's killing me.
Now, get the fuck out of the car. Don't drag her out of the car. Just get out of the car is your safest bet. Doing all this shit, now he's kind of like escalating this from like, I was defending myself to something else. But if he stopped the car, was able to unbuckle himself and get out, she couldn't hit him anymore. He's probably okay, but this is we're kind of going back. Yeah, he was doing so good. He was on that good zone. He was in the good zone. And now he's kind of like going like almost off the edge of the cliff.
No! Okay, I'm getting
Now, initially, they were claiming that was staged. If that is staged, that is impressive because I've seen a lot of domestic violence situations recorded over the years on camera. That looks pretty fucking real to me. That looks pretty real to me. The guy is innocent. Yeah, that poor Amazon driver. Yes. Now, to get the tire iron. This is better than Jerry Springer. Hair yanking doesn't create visible bruising, so it's not a bad control move. The problem is if you grab too much hair, sometimes you end up with a clump of hair, and that clump of hair is also correlating to a spot missing on someone's skull. So I've seen that happen before. So you got to be careful about that because they'll find hair, like if there's hair laying all over the car, it doesn't leave a bruise, but yeah. J-Rock says the best course of action is never put your dick in crazy. Yeah, well, that's like they tell people don't do drugs. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. That messaging doesn't work. Yes, she's not sorry. And yeah, he's holding her off so he can get out. Yeah, but he could have bailed out there. Pike said, I see two bitches. Yes. Kaz says that was the best frame. Oh, hold on here. This is the best frame. Hold on. Which? That right there. I like that. I like these frames where she's like, oh my God, you're killing me. It's like, I hope it fucking hurt. I hope it fucking hurt. Oh, so she, Eliza got arrested and she got charged. And currently she is, she was bonded out and currently she is facing some charges here. And we have the probable cause affidavit. And it's actually kind of tied to the. Let's see, where are you guys at here? Hold on. She had extensions, yeah. Casey says, not only you speak from experience. Well, other people have done the experiences for me. I've noticed learn from those other people's experiences. You have to play the whole clip. He does something. Okay, hold on. Oh, we'll go back to it. We'll go back to it. He does something. I mean, I thought the rest of it, like, they're just kind of... Okay. Here we go. All right. All right, we'll get to where he kicks her out. Okay. Takes out the keys. Good move. Yep, preserves the evidence and drives off. So, but I thought you were talking about there's more to that. No, this is where it ends. There's no more of it that we can see. Oh, hold on. I gotta switch it back over. Hold on, guys. I gotta switch it back over. Hold on. So he kicks her out. So there you go. Yeah, I thought you guys were trying to say there's more after that. No, that's it. So that's where it ends. But the arrest documents, though. So yes, swing. You do these like UFC fighting stats. You know, at a height of 5'6", weighing 133 pounds. Elisa Ann Schwartz. You know, she got simple battery domestic. So here is what happened. They responded to a part of West Palm Beach County, Florida, response to a battery. They met with Bahram Alipur, who that's the guy who stated he and his girlfriend, Elisa Schwartz, had an argument while driving on Haverhill Road, just north of Gun Club Road. I have a feeling that Gun Club is probably not there anymore, but that's a neat name. And she hit him multiple times in the face while they were in transport. That Schwartz is a YouTuber and was live streaming it. Yes, and it is all still up on YouTube. This is all part of a live stream that does still exist. And then she strikes him in the face 2 times, and then after the third strike, he grabs her by the hair and forces her to pull the car to the side of the road by pulling her hair and forcing her head down. I did observe a small scratch on the right side of his face near his temple, which didn't require medical treatment. Based on the investigation and the victim's statements, I find the probable cause exists to arrest her for simple domestic battery for repeatedly striking him in the face and causing the small scratch. So yeah, that's all of it. This is just some brilliant shit. Oh, he lives on Wilshire Boulevard. So Coach Red Pill would have loved that. Every time I see Wilshire Boulevard, I think of Coach Red Pill now. So he's followed all the victim notification forms. It's very, very funny with all of this there. So this is all the Marcy's Law paperwork that got filed. So it will be interesting to see how they do this case going forward. Why is one of those boxes religion? I don't know. Because I don't think we have those here. Was that an Amazon return? Yes. Is that Elisa Clip? That's not Elisa Clips. Jeez, you guys. Yes. In the face. SB Seller says simple domestic battery still means no more guns, right? Yeah, that would be. There is a firearm prohibition under the Lautenberg Amendment, but for her, I doubt she owns guns, so it's not a big deal. But yes, anything domestic, even misdemeanors, fuck her. LOL, come on, what? It all got fucked. You guys survived. I've left the tampons back out. Y'all safe. Why does that guy not have downs? Well, I think he's Iranian, so that's part of the issue, probably. Karen says more men need to do this to hold women accountable for domestic abuse. If this wasn't on video, he'd probably be in jail. So no, that's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. So he looks on the spectrum, not to be rude. Well, he's a pay pig there, so he's probably retarded anyway. Wendy Carter for 15 shekels says, congratulations to Johnny Somali for your biggest loser of the night. Hopefully you get a one-way ticket to Gaza as a favor of the United States. Yes. Earlier this week, Johnny Somali was in Israel and started fucking with the Israeli police, and they arrested him and started fucking with him really hard. So if we get a chance to get to that by the end of the night, we'll do his arrest real quick because it is very, very funny. Thank you so much, Wendy. Then Jonathan Doiger for $9.99. Thank you very much. They're saying, ladies, this is why keeping your hands yourself is a good idea. FAFO for real. It doesn't have to be like this, but crazy gardening tools get what they deserve. Yes. The gardening implements of questionable chaste are very, very mad right now. Yes, the hoes are very mad. And Pseudosnark is saying, I took a class once. The instructors set up a table to test our memory. It was a TATP lab, and TATP is an explosive compound you can get from distilling down peroxide and acetone. And it makes a bomb. If you didn't know you could do that, yes, you can. The funny part that they flew to train us and it was in carry-on luggage. That is funny. Saw a condition the other day of a bail bond. No replica firearms along with regular firearms. Well, yeah. That doesn't surprise me. They don't want to even risk it. CW says, are you really defending this retard? Which retard? They're both retards. I don't know which one it is. Peter's saying, Kier should watch some of her videos, and they're like Jerry Springer with a schizo video editor. Yes. There are a few. Her channel is called Elisa Jordana, and there are videos of her wailing on him multiple times. But this is what got him done in. And if you literally just use what happened there, use that name, and you will find her channel, and it's fucking weird. It is crazy. These gardening tools aren't very loyal. Mr. Sniper says TAT is very unstable. Yes, that's kind of why you use like things like petroleum jelly is kind of like a binder and a desensitizer, so you can they can handle shock better. There's not a big risk of static electricity. There's things you could do to kind of make it easier to handle. that's just hold on. That's between us, Chad. The guy is a G. I don't know if I go that far. Neodark saying, Sean, wasn't one of the YouTube videos that the FBI used to get all the users' info of the viewers? I don't know. Maybe they did. Who knows? At some point, probably. Patty says, this is the funniest ever. David MLS, the God of Law, saying for $4.99, Sean, how much for you to smack me around in the car like that? Wait, you're gonna pay me to do that to hit you in the car? It's like those memes where the wife asked the husband, like, would you punch me in the face for $1 billion? Like, I'll punch you in the face for 10. David, give me $5. I'll start hitting you. She'll be the next Courtney Clinton if she doesn't stop that. Well, this is pretty much going to take care of it. And now there's documentation of her being a fucking lunatic. So she probably won't get away with it at this point. And if you guys don't remember getting to David, David is been under assault by What the Hales, Jeremy Hale, and George, which I still think that means there's a guy named George pegging Jeremy, but I don't know. Just saying. That's kind of what I think. Anyways, he abused the copyright system, put a couple of false copy strikes against David's channel. David's channel's about to get deleted because YouTube's not giving a shit. So if you guys have the ability, go on Twitter and kind of raise Team YouTube and tell them, hey, fix this bullshit. This isn't fair. That would be greatly appreciated. That's one of the things you can do to help him out. Even if you're not a fan of David's, the What the Hales, they're acting like complete scumbags and they need to be stopped. Because this is not how it should be done. They shouldn't be abusing the system like that and getting away with it. But for right now, they are. If you could help David, I know he would appreciate the support. Yes, F the Hales. Karen says, know any big Jews that can help? Yeah, I know some people who can help. And Robert says, could you cover that lawyer shooting in Vegas? Yes. I'm waiting to see if there's any more information that comes out about that because I'm hoping there is because it does seem really cool. Those depositions are serious business. All right, guys, we need to keep moving. We need to keep going here. We need to keep moving. So, if you guys are aware, there is a game in America. You could call it our pastime. You can call it baseball. And people play baseball. They come from all over the world. In fact, someone comes from this country called Japan. And Japan is this fantasy land over in the Orient. And the land was formed as one of the gods drew his sword and the drops hit and formed the islands. Well, one of those guys, Shohei Ohtani, was playing baseball for the Los Angeles Dodgers and was part of a big contract. And he had an interpreter because he did not speak English at all. Well, things got a little bad because this guy here, I don't know how you say that if it's Ipe. I don't remember how you pronounce the name, but Mizuhara had got involved in a big gambling scandal. And remember, gambling in baseball doesn't go very well. Well, if you're Pete Rose, it doesn't go very well, but other people have gotten away with things, and Pete Rose is still sitting, like, hey, what about me? What about me? Come on. Well, his interpreter, and this is not a joke, stole $16 million. Stole $16 million. And he's been charged on multiple counts of bank fraud and money laundering. And is looking at a lot of prison time. And yes, out in the Central District of California, which and some of you are thinking, wait, how is it the Central District if it's in LA? LA's in the South. Well, the Southern District of California is San Diego. The Central District is the LA area. Then there's the Northern District, which is way up in like San Francisco. Then they have a district. They have the Eastern District of California. So it's split up. And the Eastern's one's out in the desert. But it is the United States versus Mizuhara. And we're going to get through the big thing he was charged with was 18 U.S.C. 1344 bank fraud. And we're going to skip through part of the affidavit here because this is just, the background of the IRS special agents, and he was busted by the IRS. So what happened? So victim A is Ohtani. And more than $16 million was transferred via the wire from a checking account belonging to him, held at a domestic financial institution. Okay, these funds were transferred to bank accounts of associates of an illegal sports book, Bookmaker One. In an interview with law enforcement, Ohtani said he did not authorize those transfers. Those transfers were made from devices and IP addresses associated with Mizuhara, who until recently was employed as victim A's translator and de facto manager. So what happened? Well, the text messages on Mizuhara's phone, which remember, guys, this is a tattle machine. His tattling machine tattled on him. Let me see here. Right wing extremist saying he's not stealing. He just charges $50,000 per word. Yeah, that's that's how this worked. That's how this worked. Yes, a shame for to spray. Yes, Showman has like a $500 million plus contract. Yes, but it's still $60 million fucking dollars this guy stole, which would be fucking awful. Very, very fucking awful. Very, very awful. Yeah, it's a data collecting device, as someone pointed out in Discord. Yeah, but instead, if you call it a tattle machine, it's a lot more clear what they're talking about. And yes, POV is right. Larceny is a Japanese pastime. So is attacking naval bases. So in September 2021, he began gambling with Bookmaker's illegal sports book and began losing substantial sums of money. The bank records showed during that time period, the account was changed to link the account to the Mizuhara's phone number and to an anonymous email account which connected to his phone. A phone call records related show that he falsely identified himself as Ohtani and attempted to trick and deceive the bank's employees into authorizing wire transfers to the associates of Bookmaker One. And this goes back to a thing, guys. Always in cash, never in writing, to quote the great Robert Barnes. Because yes, J-Rock is right. Who the fuck pays a bookie with a wire transfer? Pay that dude with cash. Why are you not paying that dude in cash? Come on. Why didn't he call up his bookie and say, look, send a guy over here. I got a couple mil. I can pay you in cash. I am not doing a wire transfer. No, instead, you wire it out. And when you wire it out...
Nigga, is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? What the fuck is you thinking, man?
Pretty much. You're basically making notes. It's just ridiculous. So long flight to Japan, we'll send the fucking guy here. Yeah, don't worry about it, bro. Just give me your account and I'll pay myself. Oh. Yes, now they all have to commit Sudoku. Yes, that's so sad. They're going to commit Sudoku. So, Anyways, it's bank fraud because now he's deceiving the employees and people involved. He's also deceiving the account holder, and he pretended to be victim A and transferred funds to the associates of Bookmaker One. In particular, on June 20th, 2023, he did it and transferred $500,000 in an account from the Central District, California, and that's how they're establishing jurisdiction. Finally, on March 20th, 2024, Ms. O'Hara sent bookmaker number one an encrypted text message admitting that he had stolen the funds from victim A. Well, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. So guess oh, this is just brilliant. This is just yeah. So he's fucked. He's fucked. And Otani's not going to get his money back. So yay. But I remember hearing about this whole thing where his managers bet money. I'm like, oh shit, that's bad. And now I've seen this, and I'm like, oh shit, this is really bad. Oh no, this is awful. Yeah, underwear is a weird one. I'm thinking bookmaker one may be a rat, and I kind of get the feeling he is because he an encrypted message. Well, only two people have the encryption, so how did it get released? Either they stole it through his phone or the bookmaker, and I'm pretty sure the bookmaker got involved in narking things out when he found out this happened because he just want to steal money from Ohtani because Ohtani is a massive, massive star in Japan. So from what I understand, he kind of came clean to try to look like a good guy because in Japan, he's not really in trouble. Yes, he made like $800,000 a year to be a manager and translator. So yeah, translator had to go down. Yes, he had to go down, but go down for like 10 years of federal prison. Because remember, Otani's gonna have to come in there in court and be like, he stole my money and ruined it for me. He's gonna have to put screws to this guy. So there's no way somebody would ever take that much time. I don't think the Japanese would do that. Forget Japan. Ohtani may be the biggest star in the MLB. I'd agree with that statement. Nico says 800K. That's almost the Ricada snack budget. Yes. Zero Fox, worst Asian accent ever. Oh, 1,000 forgivenesses in the name of Confucius. If they're using Signal, Israel may have cracked it. If they're using Signal, it's already been exploited. There's no way Signal is encrypted to the point the government can't intercept it. You're fooling yourself if you think that's the case anyway. Part of why Signal works is if nobody knows you're using Signal. Let's see here. I'm imagining the interpreter on an extended Coke binge. That would be awesome. That's a lot of Coke. That's a lot of Coke. Jetrex says they are Japanese. They have honor. Yeah, there's not a lot of honor when you're sitting in prison for 10 years. Federal U.S. prison for 10 years. Unless he can get, like, transferred to Japan. Although Japanese prisons are fucking rough. Japanese prisons are brutal. Yes. That's a great question. Will this guy be Ohtani's translator while he's sitting in the back of the court? That would be great. Dude cuts a plea deal, does 7 years, then he's set for life. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Japanese prison would be worse. It will be worse. So that will be interesting to see what happens with that case, and we'll keep an eye. But $16 million fucking dollars. if that's Ohtani doing, that is some serious degenerate fucking that's some degenerate gambling shit right there. What are you betting 16? It's like Krusty the Clown. You're just sitting there lighting $100 bills on fire. Like, you can't keep doing that. Like, what was he betting on? Like the Washington Generals? Going to the dog track and making show bets? That's I maybe they were doing that, because that's the real degenerate gambler move. When you go watch the Greyhounds and you're making show bets, like one play show, that's a real gambler right there. You really think 16 million went missing without Show not knowing? I don't know. I'd like to think he knows, but who knows? He might be a big retard. You never know. But what the fuck were they betting on? What were they betting on? Were they betting on, like, what the humidity was gonna be in Shanghai every day? You can do that kind of stuff. You can actually make bets on those kind of things in some sports books. So, I don't know. Yeah. Why I keep losing big time? He put 16 million on 21 black. Yeah. 19 hit me, 20 hit me, 21 hit me. Indian cricket. Sean will just say this: Show is gambling. The interpreter was cut out. Things went wrong. Oh, I think so too. At the end of the day, What the fuck was this? Seriously, though, what the fuck was this nigga gambling on? I want to know that. He got 16 million scratch off tickets. That would be awesome. You walk into a convenience store, you're like, I want all your tickets right now. Yes, and I thought Jake Peavy got fleeced. He's a translator for a baseball star. It had to have been baseball. Yeah, I don't know. He was betting on both. Betting on both. Who are you betting on? All the teams, all the time. He's about 16 million Powerball tickets when it peaked to 1 billion. He played the odds. Sumo tournaments, probably stuff like that. Sumo tournaments, all kinds of Japanese sports. It's like, I bet on Yankee football, but ball never move. $16 million on sports books. That's half a season. Worse was Jack Johnson, the NHL player whose parents stole all his money. Yeah, that's a real shitty story. There's a couple of them. I think like some of the gymnast girls. I think it was like Dominic Daw. I'm sure which ones were they? There were a couple of the U.S. gymnast girls from like the '90s teams. Their parents basically pissed away all their money and they got emancipated like 14. So, yes. Malcolm for $5 says 99% of gamblers quit before they hit the big jackpot. Yes. They quit with an eyesight of the big score. K-Pack saying Japan does not have legalized gambling. You can win prizes and whatnot, but you can't get a cash payout. Oh, I didn't realize betting is illegal. 162 games in an MLB season. You average 100K on bet on each game, and there it is. Yeah, but we're putting 100 every game. You're just like, I'm putting 100 stacks. 100 every game you play, you're putting 100 bands out there. It's like, ooh, that's just mind blowing. He was trying to match Drake's UFC bets, which those are pretty epic. Those are pretty epic bets. All right. Well, we're moving on from there to just an update on things. We covered this last week, guys. The case out of Florida where the cops poured out the alcohol, then threw the empty bottle back in the car and said, "Oh, look, we found an open container, and this cup smells like alcohol." Well, we did get the full body cam footage, and as I said, we were watching all of this. it does. They can prove DUI without a breathalyzer. They can say he smelled like alcohol, he was slurring his words, and he had glossy eyes, and he was unsteady on his feet, and the car was weaving. That's enough to convict somebody. And all of the case went to trial on Friday and finished Monday. And he was convicted of DUI, but not convicted of the suspended license. And if you listen to the body cam video, we might do that at some point coming up. He kind of sounds a little drunk in the back seat when he's screaming and hollering at everybody. But either way, the point of this is the police lied because they thought they had to. And their punishment was nothing. If the police are not punished and these cases are taken away from them and who they believe are the bad guys are set free because of the police malfeasance, they're never learning to not do it. Because now all that cop has learned is, well, geez, as long as I have other stuff, I can be crooked. Not, oh, I shouldn't do this. And oh my God, we let a DUI get away. So Calvin Riley was convicted. And yes, this is the one where they watched the officer pour out a bottle of liquor, pour out the contents, and place it back inside the vehicle as evidence. And yeah, it went viral. So the jury deliberated for less than 2 hours, which is a lot for a DUI case. Normally on misdemeanors, they come back pretty quick. Riley was sentenced to spend 10 days in the jail. He was also sentenced to 6 months of probation. As part of his sentence, he must attend a DUI course, 50 hours community service, participate in random breathalyzer tests, and is slightly suspended for 6 months. That's better than Ohio because you probably get a year out of that. So, and it's a little disgusting that nobody on that jury said refused to do jury nullification. But as they get to the opening of the bottle, the officer admitted opening the bottle and putting it back in the car was a mistake. Oh, I'm sure it was a mistake, honey. She said that the other officers denied the bottle was used as evidence to support the DUI charge. Well, why did you have to frame them? You were just framing them for fun? That sounds even worse. I'm just saying that sounds even worse. Yeah, there was enough evidence. There was enough evidence regardless. There was enough evidence outside of that to convict him of DUI. Well, there's more ways to get DUI. Like I said, he was unsteady on his feet. He smelled like alcohol. Said his eyes were glossy, and he was weaving his car. That gets you DUI every day of the week. Yep, he can't sue. That's why he was convicted. Yep, pretty much kills the 1983 action. Bella's saying, "Whoa, did anybody get bounced?" I don't think so. Jarek says, "I'm glad I stopped doing criminal law." Well, some days well, join us back, man. Jarek says his lawyers must have sucked. No, the judge said he said these are factual things I want the jury to decide. So no, the judge was just a pussy. Their lawyers did a great job. We covered the deposition last week, and they did a great job. Alpha saying he was already arrested, cuffed prior to her fuck up. I think that saved her. Yeah, but she should be fired. She should be getting charged with felony tampering with evidence. So that's the problem here. That's the problem. And the cops aren't being punished. If the cops were punished and the judge threw the case out, you know what the cops might do next time? Maybe I shouldn't fuck around on the traffic stops and do them honestly. They'll never learn otherwise. Now, moving on from there, somebody else who's going to jail is one of Trump's ex-deputies. He got sentenced to 5 months for perjury. And it's Trump's CFO, Alan Weisselberg. He is going to Rikers Island for 5 months because apparently he had supposedly lied about Trump's finances, which I think this whole thing is a big amount of bullshit. But it's a political prosecution. This is what happens. So this guy, he's 76 years old, spent 3 months on Rikers Island, which you guys know Rikers Island is a shithole. It is a jail that's horribly overcrowded. It's so overcrowded. It's literally an island in New York City. And it's so overpopulated with jails. They actually had to make like a maximum security barge. And there's a barge that sits right next to the prison. They make a dock for it. And there's like a maximum security barge that guys sit in. There are a lot of problems with Rikers Island. Rikers Island is really, really bad. If you guys have read the reports about it, people die there. People die awaiting trial there. During COVID, it was really fucking bad. But it's still an unconstitutional situation. So the perjury stems from the civil fraud case that the New York Attorney General brought against Trump, and they claim that he duped them and said that there was an incorrect valuation of Trump's townhouse, and that the statements it was valued at 327 based on its stated size of more than 30,000 square feet. And they said that he was in fact paying close attention to the apartment and that he knew it wasn't that big. So, yeah. And that also kind of takes us into our Trump updates. So Trump is going to trial next week for his, apparently the idea, you're not allowed to pay off a hoe with money. Do people getting alive by rats, or is that just Fulton County? I'm betting it happens there too. Jay says, I watched the whole 2-day trial. Well, oh, we got the doggos out. Okay. Female ADA's closing wasn't too bad. Well, it shouldn't have mattered anyway. But yeah, you guys got a doggo cam. Iconoclast says it does have a nice view of the airport. Yes. Hubbleson saying, who gives a fuck how bad it is in jail? Well, jail shouldn't be fun, but jail should not be a horrible situation where it's like a fucking gulag. I mean, if we're gonna force people to be in there, we have to take care of them. And it shouldn't be a fucking gladiator academy. Really, if we're gonna force people to be there, they have to be taken care of. Otherwise, we're bigger pieces of shit than they are. And that's not how it should be. That is not how it should be. Another new crime that never existed before Trump. Yes. Speaking of 70-something-year-olds being held on Rikers, are you following the Jose Alba suit? I've not checked in on that, but I know he sued them. I don't know the updates for it. Did I see the hearing of the Brian Kohberger case? I did not have the chance to see it yet. But I do want to take a look at it because I think it's nonsense. Because I talked to Andrew Burkhardt about this last week. Literally, the judge in Brian Kohberger's case is saying, you're not allowed to interview the jurors ahead of time about the stuff you would have asked them at jury selection. They're literally trying to save the court time by pre-screening people. But apparently that's not allowed. So no, instead we're going to make jury selection be like 9 weeks long for a death penalty case. Completely fucking stupid. Completely fucking stupid by the court. Moronic bullshit. Yes, kids were killed in the MOVE bombing. Yes, they were, by the Philadelphia police. So let's moving on, and it is what's happening in Trump's case. So he is going to trial next week, and he has been trying to get the case delayed, alleging things about venue, also talking about he's trying to talk about the venue, that he can't get a fair trial, that he wants relief to stop because he wants to appeal a lower court's ruling on the immunity presidential issue, and he also wants Judge Merkett recused from the case because his daughter is running around skimming money for the Democrats. And apparently the judge doesn't think that's a problem, and how dare Trump call that out? So this is going on and on and on. Obviously, it's CNN, but they condense. I like this article because CNN condenses it down very well. He was in the courtroom for this. The judge that listened to it, the appellate judge, took her minutes and said, "Nope, it's going to happen." This occurred yesterday, and here's the thing: that they are going to appeal basically to an en banc, basically a bigger group of appellate judges. And even if they do agree to hear it, it won't stop his trial. It'll start and then it might stop, but he can't stop it from happening. They were also trying to get subpoena Stormy Daniels because apparently Stormy Daniels made some sort of documentary. He's making a documentary, I guess, about being a fucking hoe and, I don't know, getting ripped up on Michael Avenatti. I don't know. Like, yes, you're a stupid hoe, Stormy. I get. Yas, queen. I guess. So yes, they are talking about a big issue there. That are the issues are the recusal, the restrictions on filing defense motions, and presidential immunity. There's the three big issues, and they're pointing out that we can only do this once because of the impact it's going to have on the election. There's questions about the judge. There's question about their ability to file motions, and not only addition to that, Joe has his own issues. Joe's filed motions. He served motions on the court and Alvin Bragg. So we will see what happens there. It sounds like he's going to trial regardless of what's happening. So Reform Comics saying the mental is more than cruel punishment in prison. Well, I bet. Let's see here. Where are you guys? Oh, you guys were. Not sure what you guys are talking about up there. Yes, Ralph Serretto said, "She's a whore." You found a pewter statue of Clyde. Reform Comics, I learned I did way more than I dreamed possible. 13 months in solitary confinement. It's a long time. I've also heard stories of guys spending like almost a whole year and a half in lockdown too. Not getting out of your cell at fucking all. So yeah, that's people does a lot to people. Does a lot. And where are we at now? Okay, we've got OJ. We've got this, we got this, we got this. Okay, guys, we are. What was the thing I wanted to show tonight that was left? We got time. Crap, I forget it now. What was the thing I was going to say we promised to show we had time left? I forget right off the top of my head now. Trying to remember. What thing were we going to talk about? I can't remember now. Not Joe. We were talking about something else. Bill Thompson has a period to know. Matching outfits with Clyde. Well, we already did that. We can always talk about Towers. No, not the lawyer shooting. Whatever. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. If I remember it. If not, you guys will bring it up. Okay. Boosh. No. Hold on. If you're looking for my Twitter, that's my Twitter. LawTube Sean. Why is it LawTube Sean? And some of you might also notice if you type a potentially criminal, well, that was the one that got put in the gulag, and I had to do some sneaky stuff and make like a second burner account for the YouTube channel. And when I got ungulagged. I have a bunch of I have extra burner accounts now, but this is the main this is the main Twitter account. So there you go. You watch me troll the Johnny Somali. That's what we were gonna watch. Johnny Somali. Okay. Now this was something they've been covering. This was being covered on Long Crime the past 2 days. This is also Wisconsin involved. The Slenderman stabbings from a couple years ago. You guys don't remember? These two 12-year-olds attacked their friend, stabbed her up, and they claimed they were doing it for Slenderman. It was part of that weird fucking retarded internet shit back then. I do like, though, how this is one of the girls, Morgan Gazer, and it's funny. She's got a similar haircut to the deputy. The deputy's got, he's got his kind of like quasi drop fade, and I don't know what the hell it is, but she's rocking a certain type of haircut too. It's almost like they cut her skull open right there and it just grew over. So, anyways, what happened with these girls? They lured their friend into the woods and they stabbed her and they tried to kill her. Now, not for a lack of trying, she didn't die. But these girls were they were 12-year-olds and they were charged as adults, which I am totally surprised about this because I didn't know this actually till I was reading up on it when I was watching. They were, that was popping up on Long Crime yesterday. These girls were 12-year-olds and they were tried as fucking adults. Like, holy shit, you can't. There are a lot of states like Ohio, the minimum age is 14. Under that, you cannot be tried as an adult. Like the fact they tried these as 12-year-olds as adults, like fucking hey, that's pretty hardcore. That's pretty hardcore. So they were tried. And what happened? Well, she was sentenced to a 40-year mental commitment. And that's, remember, we talked about this. If you get found insane, you go to the mental hospital. You don't go home. She had a 40-year commitment to the Winnebago Mental Health Institute in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I wonder if she got to go tube in there. Do you think she got to use a tube? And she's been held since 2018, asking the judge to let her out. But since she's 12, she's been in custody. Now, what happens at these hearings? Well, you have the right to be released. You have the right to seek a release when you're in these situations. And you have the right to have a hearing on it. And what does the court do? Well, it brings in people who have evaluated you and they give their opinions on whether or not you should be released back into the community. Well, they had 3 experts and the director of the mental hospital, and the judge decided there was significant risk that she would harm herself or others, that she should remain institutionalized. And yet, here's the thing. When you show up, this is not a jury setting. This is a judge making a decision. Now, these are decisions that can be appealed, but you don't get a jury at this point. This is all over. This is post-conviction. So she shows up. She's in her jumpsuit. Her wrists are shackled. That's how that goes. She's not entitled to be unshackled and wearing a suit like Nicolae Miu. This is all done now. Now, she could file again in 6 months. And she got denied. And the judge said, nope, I'm not letting you out because I think you're dangerous. And this is just the basic thing here, that they lured their friend, Peyton Leutner, who was also 12 in the wooded area, and they stabbed this kid 19 times. And she survived. And she's still alive today. So they were doing this because they wanted to please Slenderman, and this is all part of that gay internet creepypasta shit. And it's funny because when I was a prosecutor, one of the murders that we had to deal with involved this kind of shit. Not Slenderman, but this like fucking retarded creepypasta shit kids were dealing with. It's not even creepypasta, it's like cringe pasta. So it was, all 3 girls, they attended school, and it was just really fucking weird. I remember when this happened. That said, though, other people got to oppose her release at the hearing, including the victims' relatives, There was a prosecutor who said they were vehemently opposed to the release, and it ended today. Nobody from the defendant's family came, which that's also good. That's not a good sign of she has a stable support system at home. Because let's say her family did show up and they testified on her behalf, the attorney could be like, look, if you let her home, she can live at home. It'll be great. Well, that's not really here now. So she did claim that she told psychiatrists that she'd been sexually assaulted by her father, who conveniently died in 2023. And she had tried to hang herself in October 2021, but that's over 2.5 years ago. So I don't see how that can be a problem. But there's bigger issues. She stopped taking her antipsychotropic medications in 2022, and she claimed she'd feigned her mental illness to escape her father. That's a big one. When you admit that you lied at some point, that is really, really bad. And there are medical records, and this is the worst thing here, that she told her therapist last year. How do you think I was able to repeatedly stab my best friend? I didn't care. I can't care. I've never known how to care. Well, I kind of get the feeling you probably haven't learned how to care in the past year. So, yeah. Bella says, my scum was so much scared of Momo. Yeah. Yes. Now, while this has gone on, another psychologist testified that she's intelligent and empathetic and was clearly psychotic at the time, and said that statements raised doubts about her credibility, and the judge agreed. So 2 out of the 3 psychiatrists that interviewed her, so out of the 3 of them, 2 of them are like, nope, she's still crazy. So, yes. So she pled guilty to attempted first-degree intentional homicide, and they agreed not to seek prison time, and instead she got the 40-year mental health commitment. The other girl pled guilty to a lesser charge of attempted second-degree homicide, and a jury determined she was suffering from a mental disorder and she should get treatment. She was sentenced to the same place for 25 years. And what happened to her? Well, she was granted conditional release in 2021 and is living with her parents under house arrest. Now, getting back to the person we're talking about, though, began treatment for early onset schizophrenia back in 2015 and abandoned 2 earlier petitions for release in 2022 and 23 because she saw the reports where it's like, yeah, we're not going to recommend it. So, yeah, it's a very tenuous thing. And even when you are done with these, if you get released, you're still under court supervision. It happens all the time. I've seen them before. I was in the way these work. Oh, by the way, this happened down in Kenosha. So, whoop, whoop, Kyle. But the way these work, these hearings, like especially they don't go on forever. But like, for example, in a murder situation, I know of one. I learned about this in when you get accused of murder and it's a diminished capacity issues, and the NGRI happens. The court has authority over you until you die. So yeah, you might be institutionalized for 25 years till they think you're safe and they put you out in the community. You might be living in a halfway house. You might be living in a group home. You might be living with family, but you have people who are watching you. Well, let's say you start backsliding, you stop taking meds, you seem like everything starts deteriorating and falling apart, and it literally just blows up. The court can reinstitutionalize you. Now, you get to have a hearing about that, but they can put you back. They don't need to have a separate trial again. This judge is going to retain that. So just like her co-defendant, if that co-defendant starts getting all fucking crazy, they can put her back in the mental hospital. It's not over just because she gets released. It's only over when the court terminates authority over her. James saying, even after 40 years, they won't let her out of the mental institution if they feel she's going to hurt someone. Yeah, but then she's got a very easy argument to make that she should be released. It's very hard. The state at that point has to basically redo. It's not as simple for them. But yes, overall, that's not really a incorrect statement. Wendy says, who's more cringe? The girls who tried to kill somebody to please Slenderman, or the kid that shot both his parents because they took away his Xbox? The Slenderman girls are more cringe. They are 100 times more cringe. Sweet Tooth saying NGRI, not guilty by reason of insanity. That's what it's shortened up to as an NGRI plea or an NGRI evaluation. Yeah, Luke is, and this is the point. When none of her family is there, the plan for releasing her is like, well, I don't know, we're going to put her in a halfway house. But remember, her family wasn't there. She doesn't have a support network. What are you going to do with her? There's nowhere for her to go. J-Rex says, what the fuck's wrong with Wisconsin? Oh, dude, every state's bad like this. It's not just Wisconsin. Not just Wisconsin. All right, guys, and the last thing we're going to do is Johnny Somali. We'll show him getting fucked with by the Israeli police because he fucked with them. And, dealing with a country that considers itself currently at war because they literally just experienced a massive issue of by Hamas. I don't understand, he's a fucking idiot. And Stephen Cooper saying Matthew Harris goes to trial September 16th. Did he get restored? Wow. I didn't know that. And Charlie says lacrosse is a gold mine for YouTube videos. Yes. That's where we have Noah Betts, among other people. So let's see here. That said, though, we're going to get to Johnny Somali. Guys, don't fuck with police around the world. Most police around the world, they can basically crack your fucking teeth. Crack your chiclets and that's it. Like, don't fuck with them because things don't go well. And overall, this went pretty good for Johnny Somali because the Israeli police are pretty professional, but they'll still fuck you up if they want. But here's Johnny Somali when he was streaming in Israel.
Oh, you a bad bitch. I swear to God. You a bad bitch. I'll take you to dinner. I swear to God. I'll change your life. I'll change your life, baby. Baby, I'll change your life. I promise you. You a bad bitch right here. I'll change your life, baby girl. You ain't got to work for these niggas no more. Bitch, I'll change your life. Nigga, fucking Jesus Christ. I'm in the sidewalk. I'm in the sidewalk. Okay, I'll go. What the fuck? Okay, now go. Relax. America. I'm in the sidewalk. I'm from America. What are you doing? Okay, Karen, I'm going, nigga. What the fuck? Film me. Okay. Oh, shit. What am I going to do? America. I'm from America. USA. I'm from America. USA. I'm from America, USA. My phone.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. What a dumb son of a bitch. Yes. Johnny yelling, I'm an American. That won't save you. Like, yeah. He doesn't know what happened to USS Liberty. Yes. That's a shame, says, why are Israelis so hot? Didn't know you're a fan of the Ashkenazis, but yeah, there you go. Dim the Lamb says, asshole, yes. Hubble says, wait, is he fucking up again? When is he not fucking up? I'd love to see him do that in Germany with the Polizei. They'd fucking crack his teeth with a nightstick. Your rights don't U.S. rights don't transfer. Yeah, and the idea of maybe back in the day you could go places and say I'm an American, and they won't fuck with you, but not anymore. Doesn't mean anything anymore. Yes, he barely escapes prison in Japan, goes to a far less friendly country. He's truly America's greatest export. Yes. Say check Discord messages for what? Show me that. We don't want to claim him. I know that'd be hilarious. We're like, yeah, sorry, we don't know who he is. Yes. That's my only advice to you. Remember to yell USA, USA when you get arrested overseas. And Toilet Chris is saying, where was this? This was in Israel. I don't know where in Israel. It was somewhere in Israel. Now, what happens? Just like in Japan, he does have consular rights, meaning somebody from the U.S. State Department who works in the embassy or one of the consulates will come check on him. Now, they can't walk in there and say, let him out. And, the Israelis are going to be like, oh, my God, big bad American. We'll let you, oy vey. No, it doesn't work that way. He's there to make sure you're not being beaten to death and that you're being treated fairly. Other than that, you're on your own. So when you go overseas, that's all the U.S. government's going to do is generally make sure you're being treated fairly. Otherwise, you're on your own. Hubble says, how do you even get through immigration? I'm sure he got a visa to come over. And I don't think it takes much to go over there. Especially if you're an American. He's in Israel using slurs. Saying you're a bad bitch is that they don't allow that. Saying what he said to the IDF. Well, is she IDF or is she just a different type of special police? Constitutes verbal assault and a threat there. Yeah. Goalie says, but right here it says Somali. Yeah. Sharks is back in the day because of a massive CIA and president. Paramilitary charges by yes, those days are few and far between now. Yes. Do you see the video I sent of the guy losing his head in France? Yes, and we're gonna watch that we're gonna watch that at locals. Yeah, he was being hunted by Yakuza. Yes. Update: McElrath is still in the Cobb County Jail despite having an NGRI and no convictions. Well, they sent it back and they're going to retry him, I think, from what I understand. Dim Lamp says most likely Tel Aviv. Yeah, it's probably Tel Aviv. I mean, that's where most people go. It's not like he's probably running around. It's like he's running around in Gaza City. Johnny thinks he has diplomatic immunity. I know seriously, he needs to get. He's going to keep doing this till he goes to some place that beats the fuck out of him. I bet Israel bans him. Oh, I guarantee you they will. And Skyquee says don't need a visa. Okay. Using. Okay, no, okay. No, Bush. I understand what you're saying. Using slurs against an IDF soldier is assault. I don't know if those were IDF soldiers or were those some sort of special police. Either way, yeah. Any public servant, but she was ID. Really? Any public servant? Oh. You don't need a visa, but they fuck you at the border. Any thoughts of the Dexter Reed shooting in Chicago? Probably was a pretextual stop, but Greedo shot first. I don't know. The way they won't come out and say why they were investigating him that rolled up on him because, there were probably some sort of investigation. They knew he was a bad dude. But they won't come and admit he was some sort of rude boy. They're like, oh, he had his seatbelt off, so we did a felony stop. I don't understand why they just could come out and admit, like, yeah, he was a rude boy, and we were trying to arrest him. But I will say that dude put up a hell of a fight. He started shooting back. He should try Thailand or Vietnam. He'll go to the wrong part and disappear. Well, that'll be funny. Yeah, he's no corn pop. Yeah. All right, guys, that is actually it for tonight. We are all caught up. 12:13. Well, that's not too bad. Not under 3 hours. I'm happy with that. And still 300 people here. Thank you for being here tonight, guys. So we are all caught up. Tomorrow afternoon, we are going to get to the George Kelly case. Tomorrow night, still think we're going to try to figure out how to stream. We'll do that on Twitch. I don't know how it's going to go, chat, but we're going to try it. Should be a fun time. Saturday night, I don't know what we're doing. And then, yeah, well, there's no Formula One, so I don't have to worry about that. But we might be looking at some Richard Allen Saturday night. And then from there, yeah, not sure. I'm not sure what the rest of the schedule will be like that, but we'll play it by ear and we'll get caught up. If you guys aren't aware, I don't have my case pled out. My guy got what he was looking for, so he accepted that. So we don't have to worry about trial on the 15th, 16th. I'll be around, and we'll get George Kelly caught up and be there in no time. Boomer the end. I'm not going to do that. So good night, everybody. I will, let's see. Actually, who's on right now? Figure out who to send you there to. Oh, we also have Alec Baldwin's motion to get through. We might do that on Saturday as well. We'll do Richard Allen and Alec. We'll do them. We'll tag team it. Is probably what the game plan's gonna be. And from there, guys, that'll be it tonight. So just remember until next time. Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Free Julian Assange. That's what matters right now. Free Julian Assange. And fuck FISA. Fuck Section 702. Hold on here. There we go. I'm going to send you guys over to Joe, guys. So good night, everybody. Take care. See you guys on Locals.